Well, Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James are making headline news these last couple days. We all know the events that happened when LeBron James pulled up on Stephen A. Smith at Madison Square Garden when the Lakers took on the Knicks. And he had some things to say. And Stephen A. Smith went on ESPN First Take the next morning, said that he wasn't going to address the situation, but he addressed the situation. But we got a lot to unpack here next on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, you know, guys, man, this situation with LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith, man, it's petty, but I'm here for it. But this is not the main reason for the video. The main reason for the video is the constant back and forth that LeBron and Stephen A. are going at each other. But it's not so likely on LeBron's side. It's on Stephen A. Smith's side. Stephen A. Smith won't let it go. LeBron James is very strategic. And they had a game that they played in Indy yesterday. And Pat McAfee's show is in Indy. Now, we all know the relationship that Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith had. So don't let Stephen A. Smith say that Pat McAfee and Stephen A. are hunky-dory or cordial, because they're not. And LeBron James, very strategically, went on the Pat McAfee show and said some things about Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith has constantly trying to clap back at LeBron James. And Stephen A. Smith has said some things. He's going on these rants. And it all started from LeBron took notion to what he said. And LeBron James didn't appreciate what he said about LeBron James. I'm pleading you as a father. So at that particular time, it wasn't nothing about basketball. LeBron James took that as Stephen A. Smith was coming to him and basically saying, you got to do better as a father. Now, LeBron James, growing up in a single parent household with no father around, has been a prime example and a stand-up citizen for what he has done in the community and what he's done on the basketball court. He ain't been in no trouble, no reports out of him doing things that other NBA stars have done. He's just a clean slate. So Stephen A. Smith picked the wrong words to say when he said that. And this is what it all boils down to. But this is what I want you guys to focus on. Stephen A. Smith has fooled you guys. Stephen A. Smith, with his rants, saying everything that he has to say about LeBron James and some of the stuff he's fabricating and he's making up, and nobody wants to fact check him on it. But the history that Stephen A. Smith has, it doesn't look good when it comes to these star athletes. You go back in the days when he was with the Philadelphia Inquiry, when he covered Allen Iverson. He had y'all to believe that he was goody two shoes with Allen Iverson, knew Allen Iverson, all his moves, where he be at. You know, he said he was in good with the family and things like that. That come out to be a flat out lie. Stephen A. Smith was not down with Allen Iverson like that, but he had everybody fooled that he was down with Allen Iverson like that. Then you go to the situation in 2011, 2012 with Kevin Durant. All the things that he said about Kevin Durant, talking about he is part of the inner circle. He knows everybody in Kevin Durant's inner circle. He be on the phone with his mother all the time. She's just a phone call away. He can pick up the phone and call her at any time. Kevin Durant came out and said, you don't even have my mother's number. You don't even have my number. So why are you out here talking about all this crazy stuff? So that deemed to be a lie. Now we fast forward to now. All the stuff that he says about LeBron James and everything that he's been saying on ESPN First Take and everything that he's been saying on his podcast about Clutch Sports and Rich Paul. He knows everybody in the inner circle. They can just call me. I got their number on speed dial. I know everything that's going on behind the scenes and stuff like that. That come to be a lie. And Channing Frye, he spoke on it, and he has exposed Stephen A. Smith for the liar that he is. Now, you know, Channing Frye won a championship with LeBron in 2016 with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, you know, Channing Frye, Kyrie Irving, Richard Jefferson, and Allie Clifton, and LeBron James had a podcast called Road Tripping, which is still going strong to this day. LeBron James was the backing of Road Tripping. He was the one that put Road Tripping in place. He started a podcast company to elevate all these podcasters on these different platforms. The podcast that Draymond Green is running is on LeBron James's network, on the platform that LeBron James created. So then you had Kendrick Perkins on ESPN making himself look like a fool today, talking about LeBron. He could have got everybody else. He could have got Richard Jefferson. He could have got Shannon Sharp. He could have got anybody to be a part of his podcast. Since JJ Redick can't do it, he went and got Steve Nash. So Kendrick Perkins made himself look like a fool and tried to turn it into a racist thing. Why did he pick the white guy? Made himself look like a fool. But today on Road Tripping, Kendrick Perkins kind of piped down because Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye gave him the facts. Richard Jefferson told Perk about the podcast, the elevation that LeBron elevated everybody, that gave them an opportunity on a podcast platform. And then he was talking about The Last Dance. LeBron was the one that put that in motion. And like Channing Frye said, they used the clip from their Road Tripping podcast and put it in that Last Dance clip when they was promoting it. Also, you got to go back when they did the Road Tripping. LeBron James, Channing Frye, and Richard Jefferson, Allie Clifton, and Kyrie Irving, they would give you Road Tripping via their plane when they was traveling back and forth to these different cities to play basketball. And they was dropping Road Tripping. So Channing Frye, he went on record today on Road Tripping, and he exposed Stephen A. Smith for the lies that he told. Now, you know, Road Tripping, they tape Road Tripping at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time in the morning. Right after First Take airs, they record their podcast. And Channing Frye went on record and exposed Stephen A. Smith. But before we get off into that, right now, I'm at 13,988 subscribers. 12 away from 14,000. With the help of you guys, we can get there. If you're first new to this platform, you just come across my channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger, and we'll get there with your support. Now let's get off into what Channing Frye said about Stephen A. Smith on Road Tripping. Let's take a listen.
Like, I get different perspectives from both Bron and Stephen A. and whoever else. All I ask from both parties, and I'm obviously we're close to Bron, the Stephen A. Smith side. If you're gonna have an argument, please don't lie. Please don't make shit up. If you have a problem, don't make shit up and say, well, why weren't you at Kobe's funeral or memorial service, and why were you not doing this? Just fact check yourself. The beef is not fun when we know you've run out of things to talk about. I think this whole thing is hilarious personally, but to bring up a memorial service and then to bring up another thing about D Wade and Bron and why he ain't doing this, just ask somebody, where was LeBron James at? It's LeBron James. People probably know where his airplane is at all times. That's it. So just don't lie to try and win an argument or to make yourself look better. If you don't like him and say, I don't like you because of A, B, C, and D, I get it. Some people are going to like it, some people aren't. But don't start making shit up that is way personal and has absolutely nothing to do with the beef that started when you said, I'm pleading to you as a father. Because that one sentence is the whole reason this whole thing.
That's why
and then
we're
for
here.
you to say, oh, well, I'm just talking basketball. When you say I'm pleading to you as a father, that has nothing to do with basketball. That's dad to dad, man to man, and then the basketball stuff's to the side. So let's just keep it however we want to keep it. I don't care if you like each other. I think this is hilarious. But Stephen A. Smith and ESPN folks, no offense to you guys, just don't lie and make shit up to keep this going.
Do you have the
let's
facts?
just keep it real.
Do you have the story?
Yes, we do have the facts. He was at the memorial service. There's multiple films of Diana Taurasi pointing to him and talking to him. And also from him, he said, I just didn't want to be on camera. And then 2, Bronny had his heart issue and he was at the Mayo Clinic that same week. So to be like, oh, why weren't you at D Wade's thing? Well, he was in the hospital with his son getting heart surgery. So let's just please get your facts right so that we can continue talking about this and not basketball.
Now, you heard what Shannon Frye had to say. Now, after that recording, Stephen A. Smith got wind of that. So Stephen A. Smith goes to his X account and look what he posts on his X account. My apologies and clarification. I misspoke in hour 1 of First Take today. When I intimidated, the LeBron did not attend Kobe Bryant's memorial. I corrected myself in hour 2 when I acknowledged he was indeed in attendance. My mistake. Should not have even broached that subject. It was not my main point. I retract nothing else that I said. Have a nice day. Stephen A. Smith is getting caught up in his own lies. And that's the thing about it. See, Shannon Frye exposed him. And see what's going on now. Stephen A. Smith, everything's personal now. Stephen A. Smith is not talking back. Everything's personal. And now he's trying to flip it and turn it back into a GOAT debate. Focus on the matter at hand. The reason why we're here is because of the fact that you took a shot at LeBron James' fatherhood. And like you said, you've always told people, it's out on record, that you can pull up on me anywhere because I'm in the streets. Well, you was in the streets that night. You was in Madison Square Garden and LeBron pulled up on you. He had an opportunity, so he pulled up on you. And that's what he did. You addressed LeBron James in public, but you wanted LeBron James to address you in private, behind closed doors. Nah, Stephen A., you can't have it both ways. You addressed him in public, so he addressed you in public. But for you to keep this thing going by making up all these lies, like Shannon Frye said, just to win an argument, you're not going to get nowhere, man. Just let it go, Stephen A. Smith. Just let it go, man. It's over, man. Just let it go. But you know, LeBron is very strategic. He stuck it to you real slow when he went on the Pat McAfee show, because you've said constantly on your platform with the podcast that you do, the Stephen A. Smith show, you said you've reached out to LeBron many times for him to come on your platform. You even reached out to Rich Paul to go on their platform. But you said the phone calls went unanswered. That should tell you something. I mean, if you don't like the guy, you don't have to like the guy. Your job is to critique him, which you do. But the point is that the fatherhood came in it. And that's what LeBron has the problem with. A lot of people out here talking about this to this day. Everybody has their own opinion about it. I got my opinion about it. A lot of people have certain things, but I've always brought the facts to you on this channel. And Shannon Frye just exposed the fact that Stephen A. Smith is a liar. But you going on national television and talking about LeBron James is lying. Who's lying here? They got the proof, and you heard what Allie Clifton said. Do y'all have the facts? Channing Frye said, yeah, we got the facts. Channing Frye and Richard Jefferson know LeBron handoff. It was in that locker room with him for 2 seasons. They know how LeBron operates. And for Perk to go on First Take and say the things that he said and then get on the Road Tripping podcast today, talk about he ain't got nothing to do with it. Now he wants to talking about Stephen A. Smith is wrong and LeBron's wrong. He didn't say that on ESPN First Take this morning because Richard Jefferson exposed him. If y'all go back and just pull up the clip of Road Tripping podcast, y'all see exactly what I'm talking about. He got exposed, man. And Channing Frye exposed ESPN Network as well. So, guys, I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.